What's going on, YouTube? How's everyone doing? I hope everyone's doing great as usual. Thank you guys so much for all of your support. We have to talk about the G5 again because, man, listen, the G5 is a TV that the longer I've actually had it, the more and more I like it. It's the easiest way to explain it. The clarity out of this TV, the color, the processing, the three dimensionality. Um, you can do so much with this TV if you just take your time, manage your settings. It is wonderful. Now, me personally, number one right off the bat, turn dynamic tone mapping on. Just do it and learn how you want your TV to look from there. You can bring down the black levels, you can make things look better. I know that sounds like, you know, not like the best advice, but guys, I'm telling you, if you turn dynamic tone mapping off and then you set it to HGIG when you're gaming, or if you set it to tone mapping pro and you set up uh, your own tone mapping, it's still going to cut off a good portion of the brightness. I'm not a fan of that personally. I rather give myself that dynamic tone mapping and just sacrifice, you know, those details, because what happens if you go for more detail, which is, dynamic tone mapping off or HGIG, and you want it to look more closer to the creator's intent, it's going to lose a lot of brightness. It's not going to look more lifelike. It's not going to look more dynamic. Yeah, your specular highlights will look good and things like that, but the overall colors, the overall, just the image is going to look more flat. It doesn't look as good. It doesn't look as eye-catching. And what is the point of spending that much money if you're not going to turn dynamic tone mapping on? Why? I just don't get it. It doesn't make sense personally to me, unless obviously you're a purist. I totally get it and I understand you're preserving the creator's intent and I respect it. But when you're a consumer, when you spend the amount of money that these TVs cost, even now that they're on sale since they've been out for months, they're still expensive. Why would you do that? It makes no sense. You can probably get close enough of a purist image with a mid-tier TV because it doesn't really require much for it to look like the creator's intent. A lot of the processing gets turned off. Um, a lot of the brightness gets shut down. Just get yourself a mid-tier tier TV if that's the case. Sorry, I got the hiccups. That's just the way I look at it. I don't really see the point of that because when you turn dynamic tone mapping on and then you set your color right, you set your contrast the way you want it to look, you set um, you set everything up, you set your motion, you set everything up you want. This is the image that you get. Look how beautiful it looks. It looks wonderful, guys. Now, you can, okay, go and turn HD off, and this is what you get right here. You get that. It's that's just how it is, guys. That's literally how it is. I don't know about you, but for me, I will much rather get the brightness back, that pop back, that jaw dropping clarity back, right? It's just that much better. So we're going to go back to brightness And we're going to turn it back on. And now we have, sorry. Now we have it all back. We have the color pop. We have that just dynamic 3D pop. We have color luminosity. We have life, guys. And look, listen, when you're at the movie theater, and now it even depends whether you're watching Dolby Digital, it doesn't matter. You can be watching um, just regular 3D. Now it's just, but let's just say you're at the movie theater, right? I get the creator's intent. That is a cinematic, traditional vibe, a feel that you get from there. Even that's changing little by little now. Now you're starting to see Dolby rooms in movie theaters that are definitely a lot more brighter, a lot more clarity, a lot more, you know, 3D, almost like how you would experience a TV, a high-end TV at home. You almost get that image quality to a certain point. Yes, there are very gray areas and colors and stuff that, do not pop like a premium TV, but you get the point. It looks just as clear nowadays in those types of environments and movies. That's the only way I would actually watch a movie. I just went and saw Tron yesterday in the Dolby room. That I wouldn't want to see it any other way than in Dolby. Dolby theater at the movie theater is amazing. Um, if I could copy that experience and make it brighter, like let's just say when the 4K DVD comes out, they're going to remaster that and make it brighter because now it's going to be on DVD. So it's going to look amazing. If I can copy that experience through a TV and like again, the Dolby Digital Room has those speakers that just shake your seat. Just surround quality is untouchable. Imagine if you can emulate that at your house through a TV, a high-end TV. Insane, insane. So I get it, guys. My whole point is that they're two completely different vibes. You know what I mean? But when you have the G5 and you're watching a 4K and you're watching a Pixar movie like this, to put it, you're not going to do it any justice to turn dynamic tone mapping off. That's just my personal opinion. It's just that simple. I know it's not accurate, and I don't really care for that. What I want is an image like this. I want it to pop when I'm at home. I want to be wowed every single scene. So I'll give you another example. Let me just forward a little bit here. I guess I have to go here. All right. Let's go up. All right. So right here, guys, this is what I'm talking about here. Sorry, right there. Guys, this is OLED at its finest. This is LG at its finest I've ever seen it. I love this TV because of this right here. I mean, you have amazing color. You have amazing contrast. All right. You have amazing background, foreground. Everything looks 3D. Everything looks detailed. Everything looks great. It just looks amazing. Now, I will say that not every scene is going to be like perfect like this. I noticed like in overall dark scenes, even with DVD 4K, I do sometimes notice like crushing. Um, I don't know if I mean I'm talking about like I can reset my black levels and it'll still crush in certain scenes. I think it does have a lot to do with the way the creator implemented HDR on their end. because I'm telling you, there's been movies where it was perfect, no crushing, and then other movies where it was like, whoa, like that's crazy looking. So then you have to adjust your black levels and things like that, which I don't mind doing. Um, but to me, the biggest negative, the biggest issue when it comes to picture quality that LG has is the black levels. Um, it's just, especially with streaming, even in 4K, that it's more noticeable primarily there, but with DVDs it is noticeable. And it doesn't matter whether you're in Dolby, doesn't matter whether you're in HDR10, it still is a processing thing through LG where you do notice it a little bit. Um, in 4K DVD. It's not as bad. I can promise you that. But a nitpicker like me sees those things because I just kind of, again, as I said earlier, I've had LG OLED TV since 2017. I know these things and I'm okay with it. The black uh the black issues with uh macro blocking and things like that, or shadow details or crushing, those things are things that has kind of been known with LG. They never had that down pat very great, but the pros definitely outweigh the cons. And this is a perfect example of that. When you see an image like this, guys, come on. Like, you know what I mean? You're a buyer. You're not a professional calibrator or anything like that. You're just a consumer like me. Like, I don't I'm not going to nitpick when I can enjoy an image like this 95% of the time. You know what I mean? Just trying to, explain myself there. Um but yeah, so we're going to forward this a little bit more cuz I just wanted to show you guys something else. Um all right. So let's go back. All right, this scene right here again, guys. Colors, 3D pop. I mean, it's just flat out amazing. So, when you set your TV the way you want it to be, you can get a much better image than whatever comes out the box for the most part, because once you kind of realize, like, again, I would still recommend going through all your presets and doing all that, because that is what will help you figure out what you want your TV to look like. I promise you guys it will help. Just do it. I know it's going to suck doing it because it's time consuming, but just do it. Just once a week, change the presets. Once a week, if you're gaming, change from RPG to FPS, anything. Just change, and you'll see. And it doesn't matter. You'll know what you want your TV to look like. I promise. And then this is what I like my TV to look like. I like crystal clear image. I like color. Colors. I don't like oversaturated colors, but I like QD OLED like colors. To me, QD OLED like colors are not oversaturated. They are more true to color, and they bring a luminosity to them that doesn't overkill the color. That's what QD OLED is to me. And even though this is not a QD OLED, it's a four stack tandem technology that is just like QD OLED. Very, very close to it. And as a matter of fact, it might actually look a little bit better in some ways because it's not a QD OLED. Um, but right now, this is the image that you get with the LG G5. Color is amazing. Black levels are amazing. Details are amazing. Everything just looks great. And this is my point. 95% of the time, especially in movies like this that are super colorful, this is what you get to enjoy. This is what people don't talk about. Everybody to me gets cooped up in the negatives. Everybody to me gets cooped up too much in why they have these problems and this and that, but they don't talk enough about images like this. This is Elio, Disney Pixar movie. a beautiful, gorgeous movie. And why would you make it look more like this? Number one, right? Let's go back, right? Why would you make it look like that just because you think the details are more noticeable, right? I mean, you can simply just go to HDR and we're going to go back, turn TDM or DTM on. You still got all your color. You still got all your details. Yeah, there's going to be times, maybe, yeah, maybe the details will not be as good, especially in specular highlights. Okay. What are you going to do though? Are you going to sacrifice 90% of the movie to be dull just for the 10% of the time of great specular highlight or highlight details? Not me. That's just the way I look at it. And again, there's no such thing as a perfect TV. If you notice, like the Mark II is amazing because how well it maintains details. And being a QD OLED, it gets raving reviews how cinematic and beautiful it looks because it has its own approach. You go to Samsung, brightness, colorful, just color pop, just blowing everybody away. Everybody's loving that TV. It looks amazing. For me, the only negative is it doesn't come in 83 inch, but nonetheless, that TV is the top favorite TV for most buyers because of how crazy it looks. It looks amazing. Um, yeah, the matte finish is probably the worst negative about that. So they all have their pros and cons, is my point. LG to me is the one that, or the G5 to me is the one TV that is kind of like can beats the other ones, and that's why I chose it because it comes in an 83 inch, um, and this is the color quality that you get out of the TV. It is ridiculous, guys. It's 10 out of 10 for color for me. Brightness, um, the motion in this TV is amazing. So I think that this TV is extremely underrated when it comes to that cinematic motion. I feel like the LG definitely took a page off of Sony's book and has that very cinematic motion. It feels like a Sony in certain scenes, the way it moves, especially the horizontal pans and at weird angles. Sony to me always had that the best, and LG is like right there. Like, yeah, not as perfect as Sony has it, but literally like neck and neck, like just like a hair short. And for LG to be able to do that, um, while people are starting to complain more lately about how Sony's processing has gotten worse over the past maybe 2 years or 3 years, I don't know. Um, LG's just stepping it up with color, stepping it up with the motion. They're to me the ones that are really attacking everything at once, and trying to cover all bases more than every other competitor. Um, in the audio department is where they probably, to me, get hit the most. Black levels, and sometimes when you get close to the screen, obviously the bigger the screen, the more noticeable it is. Sometimes you can see some pixelation in bright scenes, but that's because dynamic tone mapping is on. You got your TV at its brightest level. So I know if I tone that down, that will actually help. But I don't want to do that. I sit far enough from the TV where I don't even notice it. I only notice it when I'm like like less than a foot away from the TV. No one's ever going to be that close. It's just, so um, yeah, those things are just very, very little to compare to how amazing this TV is. Just set your settings up, guys. When you spend this much money on a TV, that's what you're supposed to do. Just, I don't want to hear it. There's no point for you to buy this TV if you're, or any premium TV, if you're going to just plug and play. Um, really play with the settings and figure out how you want your image to look. You're going to surprise yourself. You're going to be proud of yourself. You're going to be everything, and you're just going to enjoy it. You're going to, every single time, uh, you get out of work a year, or you just can't wait to go home because it's just, this is what you want. This is what you paid for. This is amazing. So, um, get a surround sound system, guys. I have kind of like a smaller one, which is still thumps. And I gotta respect my neighbors, so I don't really put it on that loud. But yeah, um, when every once in a while I do kind of crank it just to really have some fun. I'll put a awesome movie on, and just enjoy what I got. That's the point, guys. Thank you so much for all of your support. Um, it really means a lot, and I truly hope that some of this helps you. It's just my experience, nothing more, nothing less. I'm on the same level as you guys, man. I am a consumer, and I don't care what anyone thinks. It's just the way I see it, and it's just caters to those people who just want real, I don't know, just a real opinion, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying other reviewers don't have a real opinion either, but um, I think if you take everyone's advice, including mine, you can just come up with your own opinion on what you're looking for, because it's your money and you have a different preference than everyone else does. It's like a fingerprint. Everyone's is different. So that's the beauty of these TVs, is you can customize them to your liking and you can fine tune them. LG's pretty much the best at that. Sony is. I know Panasonic is. Like, these top brands, they all got their own thing, and it's just up to you what you personally want. For me, if there was an 83-inch glossy cutie OLED by Samsung, that would be in my house. I would probably have two of them. That's how much I'm looking forward to something like that. I want a QD OLED in an 83-inch in my house, point blank, period. And I also can't wait till um, OLED TVs get more affordable in the 100-inch. As you guys know, I have a 100-inch mini LED downstairs. It is nice. It is a great TV. It is awesome. It's the LG 85A. That TV is amazing. But obviously, it's not as high quality as an OLED. It doesn't matter. You can fight me on this to the cows come home, or whatever the saying is. It's not, you would know when you're, if you were they were next to each other. It's obvious which one is the better TV. So I can't wait till QD OLEDs or OLEDs get to an affordable place where you can buy 100-inch for almost the same price of what a mini LED costs now. It's going to be a while from now, but I'm telling you, once it gets to that point, it's going to be in my house. It's just that simple. So, um, guys, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for everything. I will talk to you guys through the comments, and enjoy the conversations. Keep it going. Let me know what you guys think. What's your opinion? Everything um, with QD OLED versus four stack tandem OLED. What do you think about dynamic tone mapping being on for the majority of content like I recommend? Do you agree? Do you disagree? It's cool to hear everyone's opinions, and it's all respectable. We're talking about TVs here, guys. We're not talking about World War III. We're not talking about the end of the world here. We're literally talking about luxury here. So no point in even arguing about that. It's just stupid to even argue about that kind of stuff. But anyways, guys, appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.